What's going on, guys? My name's Cmdr, and welcome to After Being Sick for last week and all that sports and jazz. Welcome back to LeagueCenter for February 22nd, 2017. This is a really short, well, it's not short, it's long, because the interview is quite long and the replays are quite long, but some good replays for you, a really good interview with Aszi. We don't have any news. I've been gone for 2 weeks, and the only news is like the IDL and the ICL started. So I didn't see any reason for trying to cover a bunch of news that wasn't there. So we're just going to jump into your replays off the bat. There's some really cool replays. So replays and an interview. No like matches yet. I was sick all last week, so I didn't get to work on anything. And so I just gonna hope that I can double back around. I should be able to do something this weekend at least. But yeah, let's jump into your replays. Let's start off your replays this week with the That Shouldn't Have Happened replay of the week. Going to Dark. Excuse me, still getting over the cold. Dark, coach of the Elm Street Dark Rise, facing off against Scotty Dr. Pepper, coach of the Brain Fart. Yeah, he's coach of the Brain Fart. Let's just go with that. So as you can tell, Scotty is very far ahead right now. As you'll see right here, that Tapu Bulu at full HP, and there goes Vaporeon. And here comes in Salamence. Salamence is going to set up a D-Dance. And then here it goes. Flying Z Supersonic Strike. Very smart idea on Dark's end. Going to take out then Darmanitan, probably Scarf Darm. Going into Conkeldurr. Outrage, taking out Conkeldurr. And then you see where this is going. Tentacruel. Switching, jumping into Goodra, sacking off Goodra. It was probably should have went into Goodra a little sooner because that would have slowed the speed. And then the Excadrill, and Excadrill is going to be able to take out. And then it came down. Look how close this comes down to. With the Intimidate, that Rock Slide missed. That was the difference between Scotty winning and losing. Because Scald, boom, 1%. And it came, I don't think Dark should have won that. It came down to Rock Slide missing. So that shouldn't have happened. Rock Slide missing. Moving on to the Pee Your Pants game this week. And Bacon, for some reason, coach of the Fall River Floatzels, just always seems to find his way on here. And this is no different. He's against Skyla, coach of the Kansas City Charmanders. As Magearna goes down, it's Blastoise versus the world. Dark Pulse is going to take out Alomomola. Going to get the burn on Azu, as Azu clicks Play Rough. That only does about 25%, even with the attack drop. That doesn't really hurt for Blastoise. Dark Pulse. That Play Rough still doing a whole lot, even with him burn. Just trying to get some flinches, I assume. And there's one flinch. Getting Azu down as small as possible. Play Rough again. Blastoise still really low. It's actually going to be a switch going into Mew here, which is going to die to a Dark Pulse. And then to Scolipede. Scolipede clicks Protect as a Scald comes on. Probably wondering how is this going to work. He sets up why Spikes is... Oh, it was a misplay. Toxic Spikes. Taking out the Scolipede. And look at this. Taking out Azu. Blastoise to get him 4 kills right there. And Bacon winning against Skyla for a Pee Your Pants game. Both of those 2 matches were Pee Your Pants, however, Rock Slide missing shouldn't have happened. We have the Arceus play this week in a really cool Hidden Power run from Atlas Wave, new coach in the IDL. He's against Shadow Lake, coach of the Jealous Shellos. And Charizard's in here. It's going to be switch jumping into Garchomp to take this Flare Blitz. Perfect Flare Blitz to take out Charizard. It's going to be Kyurem Black. I don't know what hidden power this is, but whatever you can switch in also from either or and take out, yeah, if you can, whatever you can do to hidden power something that takes out not only Garchomp but Alolan Ninetales is quite impressive. And last but not least, we have the 6-0 for the week, and very long ago, probably week 1 of TISA, not TISA, League Center. In week 2 of Zastal, Dash 5-0'd Cal with a Lapras, a DD Lapras. Well, Cal got his revenge. This is Mega Swampert, or this is Swampert going down. It's going to be a jump into Excadrill, Mold Breaker Excadrills, taking a Sludge Bomb. It's going to be a jump going into Charizard, dies to a Rock Slide. Life Orb Swords Dance Excadrill. Here's Espeon, dies to an Earthquake. Here's Bronzor, setting up Swords Dance on the Bronzor. Even with the Confuse Ray. Click and Protect. Taking out Bronzor. Taking out Lapras. And last but not least, of course, taking out Weezing. And Cal getting his revenge. So that's all for your replays this week. We're going to jump now into the interview with Mr. Coach Aszi, coach of the Gainesville Ninjas. I know there's not a whole lot of stuff on this League Center. Just got to build things up. As I said, there was not a whole lot of matches this week. So that's all. We're going to move straight into your interview. What's going on, guys? And welcome back to the second half of the League Center for this week, coming off of really rough last week as we didn't have one because I was sick. However, I happened to get probably one of the best battlers you'll see on here. He is half a god, he is half Zeus, he has 6-0-27 before, he's destroyed Mega Camerupt, and the only time he loses is when he brings mons that he doesn't have. And this is going to be Israelian, aka Aszi, coach of the Gainesville Greninjas, with the abbreviation GG, because that's what you're going to be saying in about 10 turns. So, Mr. Aszi, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, Commander. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for having me on here.
It is a pleasure to have someone so good as yourself. So, we're going to jump into the teams. They can see on the left side, they see your TISA team, which are 5-1 plus 16. And on the right side, they see your Zastal team, which you are 2-1. Your team is 2-6, minus 14. Let's start with your TISA team of Weavile, Magnezone, Slowking, Heracross, Mega Altaria, Volcanion, Avalugg, Golbat, Rhydon, and Rodamo, and then also Dugtrio's at the bottom, but I can't even see that. So I know you mentioned talking about how you watched Bunny and just completely destroyed Mega Altaria, and then how you really like with this team to trap things, to have that as an option, because that's something people have to be noticing about. So talk about that a little bit.
So I feel like trapping is one of the greatest forms of like in League format. So like honestly, yeah, my TISA team consists of 3 trappers. You know, I got my Pursuit Trapper in Weavile, I got my Steel Trapper in Mag, and then I've got my weak to ground or just hitting with big damage Dugtrio. Like it's just a threat, because you know all I need to do is I look at somebody's team and I see one threat to my team. Like because primarily I have my hardest hitters on this team are Volcanion, Altaria, and now I acquired Heracross, you know, but I still haven't used him yet. So those are my hardest hitters, and basically if I can get something out of the way with my 3 trappers, I can just run train on my opponent's team, knowing that I've gotten rid of it. And if he tries to, counter team the trap by using a shed shell, well then he's not using an item. He kind of just wasted his item, and I could still outplay that. So that's just, I guess, my thought process. I mean, if you want me to talk more about the other members of my team,
talk about some of the other ones that might not come as often, but you still use very well.
Yeah, I feel like Golbat has been like the underrated pick for me. I've used Golbat so many times. It's come in the clutch so many times. It came in the clutch against Jayhawk, living that draining kiss, because if he knocked out my Golbat, I know it was a roll, but I probably wouldn't have 4-0'd him. Instead, he would have probably beaten me. Well, or it would have been a closer margin by that. I don't know. And Rhydon I brought once, and that was versus Chiangi subbing in for Drampa. That didn't work out too well because I forgot Chestnut got spikes, but it's alright. Slowking is kind of my water resist / my... I feel like Slowking can wall anything in draft format, quite honestly, because you can make it either physical. It's pretty decent physically defensive, even though that's not its best stat. It's amazing SPDF wise. It's got so many utility options: Trick Room, Recover, yada yada yada, and like dark moves. Cobra Berry on Slowking, like nothing. Does nothing. Like it does 20. Like Mega Absol's knockoff does 20, I think, to Cobra Slowking, some shit like that. Avalog, I have yet to bring. I feel like it's right place, right time, but I don't think we'll be seeing much of Avalog. But other than that, having a good time so far in the TISA. Working with Mega Altaria, love that mon.
Well, your record definitely shows you having a good time. Just looking at your last 4 matches for the season before it, obviously, I think you're automatically in the playoffs by now, but the last 4 matches you have, you against Alex, coach of Montreal Exploud, him and his fire team. You get a nice week break as Josh won't be coming. And then you have 2 pretty tough opponents with Sokka, who is a hit or miss. And then you have Inu, who has really shown himself to be a really good battler this season. Any of the matches you're looking forward to?
What's Inu's team name? Because I'm looking at the teams right now.
He is Richmond Emolgas.
Richmond Emolgas. Oh damn, he's got. All right, he's got a team that's a little bit threatening here. He's got some threats here. I'm not gonna reveal how I'm gonna deal with him, but that'll be a very interesting match. Sokka, yeah, Sokka is bringing his. He drafts the same way. He drafts like very bulky, and then like bulky with 1 sweeper. He brings like 1 or 2 sweepers, but he drafts very bulky. Sokka like drafts very bulky, I've noticed. So, I mean, if I play it right, then Mega Altaria usually dunks on bulkier drafts, or even Heracross can. But then again, I feel like my team is well-rounded enough to handle all types of hyper offense. Probably it deals with hyper offense draft teams the best, in my opinion. So Sokka will be a very interesting match.
Okay. Now moving on to the Zastel side, which you took over for Taco as he quit mid-season. Right now, you're 2-1 as you playing the team. And
I would like to interject, and I would say technically, I know I'm 2-1, but I'm technically undefeated with my team because in the first week I didn't know I actually had free agent picks, so I still had to stick with all of Taco's PU mons. Unfortunately. So, but now I've gotten rid of most of them. There's some picks that I really like that I picked up.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good mods on this team. I'll just go over them real fast. Then you can talk about as many as you want, because there's plenty of on here. We have Mega Medicham, Turtonator, Mandibuzz, Mamoswine, there's your Mamoswine, Beware, Decidueye, Alolan Executor, Rotom Fan, Jellicent, Yanma, Alolan Golem, Dodrio, Araquanid, Blaziken, and Slowking again.
Yep, so when I was reconstructing Taco's team from the ashes, he had three amazing mons to begin with: Mega Medicham, Mandibuzz, Mamoswine. Medicham like can knock like back in ORAS OU, Medicham just like decimated the entire metagame, and it still does a pretty decent job even despite with the new fairies. Especially in draft format, you just play around it, you know, add an Ice Punch here or there for Tapu Bulu, Thunder Punch here or there for Tapu Fini, Bullet Punch for any other fairies. Like, Medicham is still a giant threat, and honestly, I feel very blessed to have it, because it also makes people prepare for it. It's like none of my drafts so far have centralized around Medicham. Like, none of my actual like team builders have not centralized over Medicham. That may change, that may not change, but so far people are respecting the Mega Medicham and I play around that. Other highlights of my team, I feel like Slowking was a good pickup along with Alolan Executor. Alolan Executor was a good 2-for-1 because I felt like my team was very slow. I have some slow mons on here. I had Araquanid, I had Alolan Golem, I had Beware. And, you know, even Mega Medicham is slow for some of the faster drafts, like Cheats with Garchomp, Infernape, Raikou, like Talonflame. Those are some Mega Sharpedo. He's got some fast-ass mons that, like Medicham could outspeed. So Trick Room was essential, and I didn't just want to rely on Slowking as my one Trick Room setter. So I have a Alolan Executor for that. He's also my Dragonmon. I just realized that Alolan Executor is my one Dragonmon, which Taco did not possess. I did give up my fairies. Which is a little concerning, and I do still lack a steel type, but I feel like my team has enough offensive pressure to ignore that. So this is actually, you know, I'm really enjoying my time in Zazzle, actually. Maybe a little bit more than TISA, because I feel like it's a challenge, because, you know, I'm out of my comfort zone. I'm out of my comfort zone of kind of like playing a nice balanced attack, you know, having my Fire, Water, Grass, my Fairy, Steel, Dragon Cores, but kind of gone, and, you know, I have to improvise. So other mons on my team, I guess. Alolan Golem, so underrated. When I wanted to pick him, when I was like telling 27, like, let me pick up Alolan Golem, he's like, I wouldn't do that if I were you, but I highly disagree with him. Alolan Golem is great. Galvanize is a great ability. Rock type is kind of a very underrated type in draft format, because Rock has some decent resists, and, you know, Galvanize hits like a truck. Sturdy is always good for setting up rocks. Sturdy, Cuss Tap, Sucker Punch. I can even run a Rock Polish weakness policy set if I wanted to. Yeah. Blaziken, I feel like there's a right place, right time, but I feel like he's gonna, out of all of these mons, he's probably gonna one that's gonna see the least amount of usage, just because I don't feel like he's powerful enough to deal hits, and he's not bulky enough, so I would rather like use Turtonator as my fire spammer than Blaziken. So that's a hint to everybody who's watching this. If they want to build for me, I'm probably not going to bring Blaziken. Or am I? And then Jellicent is once again my water resist, my solid water resist, that once again I believe Jellicent can wall anything in the draft format, because it's so bulky on the Spadef side. And once again, Utility and Trick Room has all the statuses except for T-Wave. I can even run Curse on it or some stuff like that. I can run Hex, Taunt. It's a good stall breaker, which is really awesome. So yeah, this team, the Zazzle team, is just more an offensive presence. I don't have mons like Golbat to just roost stall, or Altaria like on my TISA team that just sit there and roost and U-turn. The only mon that I have on my team that does that is Mandibuzz. And, well, actually, I guess I have Mandibuzz, Slowking, and Jellicent, to be fair, but I have so many other mons on my team that I like to bring that apply offensive pressure. I've actually been in a few draft leagues before, like with my monotype friends, and Yanmega, I ran through with Yanmega, because Tinted Lens, you know, I could run Scarf Tinted Lens, I could, you know, Speed Boost is always great, Speed Boost, imagine like Tinted Lens with Z Hypnosis on Yanmega. That's just some power right there. So yeah, I feel like this team is going to be exciting, and I feel like I have a good shot at hitting the wild card in the playoffs if I at least win, if I only lose once more. I feel like I have a chance if I can lose once more, and then I think there are 4 matches left, and I have 5 wins on the season. I think I might be able to sneak into the wild card, but, you know, we're looking to win the last 4 matches of the season. That would be great to get 6 wins out of a 12-win season coming in. That would be awesome.
Speaking of your matches, your last 4 matches, you faced Caper, which, if you questionably argue against any of the other coaches, that's probably a guaranteed win for you. However, right after that, you're facing AJ, who right now is leading the entire league. And then you face Twong, who is the only person to beat Blue. And then you face Big Bad to finish off the season.
Hang on a second. I have to be right back. Somebody's at my door. Just really quick. Sorry about this.
It's perfectly okay. While we wait for Aszi to get back, just going over his team. His Aszi, as said at the beginning of the TISA, he can take a team halfway in the season, bring it to the playoffs, and that's exactly what he's doing for Zastel. He's taken Taco's team, beat some really good people with it. Oh, he's back. That's okay.
Sorry about that. Had just got home from work and I got nothing for food, so.
Oh, neither do I. I need to think about getting something to eat.
Yeah, nice nourishment, nice pizza. But yeah, so Caper, real like, I'm gonna say this right now. And hopefully, I wonder if Caper is watching this video. But his team looks a lot more threatening than I thought it would be. Honestly, like, there's a lot of Pokemon on his team that give me trouble. I'm not gonna say who, but there are a lot of things that I feel like my team build, he could give my team a pummeling, like, I think. But I mean, if you guys say it's a free win, then we'll see about that. I'm not sure. You know, I'm not here to underestimate anybody. So, and then you said after Caper, I'm facing AJ, the best in the league, right?
Yeah.
Question: that Greninja isn't Protean Greninja, is it?
No, it is Torrent Greninja.
Okay, never mind. So then that's useless.
It also misses a bunch of Hydro Pumps.
I could imagine. Misses Hydro Pumps. Like, AJ's team is very, very interesting. It is a very interesting team. It's got Ferroseed. Wow. So his team is more offensive, it looks like. But hopefully, I feel like AJ's team, there are a few holes that I feel like my team could capitalize on. But, you know, if he's the best in the league, then that will be my actual measuring stick to see how good I am. And then who else do you say that I was facing at the end of the season?
You're facing Twong, week 11, who's the only person to beat Blue.
Twong, alright.
Coach of the Vancouver Goldex.
And then who else?
And then you face Big Bad, coach of Melbourne Magnetons, to end off the season.
And Big Bad, okay. So yeah, we've got some good matches to end the season. You know, it'll make it hard for me to go 6-1 as interim head coach of whatever team I took over. But I just feel like the person before me, his draft consisted of too many weak mons. He had like Ribombee, he had Grand Bull, I don't know. It's like, why do you need double fairy, and why are these fairies in like the NU tier? That's my question. I don't actually think Ribombee's NU, but like, usage wise, there were so many things left on the table. For fuck's sake, Yanmega was still on the table. I was in shock, quite honestly, when Jellicent was a free agent. I was like, why is nobody taking this mon? Why is this still here? Like, it boggled my mind. But yeah, looking forward to hopefully, you know, having a good run at the end of the season, having a shot at the playoffs. That'd be really awesome.
Well, I'm sure that you'll make it, knowing that you are Aszi, and it will be very fun to watch.
No, don't guarantee it. It's not a guarantee, guys. Guarantee.
So, thank you, Mr. Aszi, for joining us on LeagueCenter. It is a very big pleasure to have you.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And that is all My name's Cmdr. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please don't like, comment down below. We'll see you next week, and you are going to be super excited for who we got coming in next week.